Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tesla Live. My name is Yaman Tashtavar, and I share a 10-minute summary of the day's important news. And here we go. Is down 8%, Nasdaq is up 0.3%, S&P 500 is down slightly, and Russell 2000 down 1% today. The market is being pulled up by a couple of stocks, including Google, Nvidia, and other chip stocks, as you can see. And a little bit Tesla is up a little bit as well. And in other news, if you look at scroll down to yields, we can see that the treasury yields are up handily today. 10-year treasury yield is at 4.55. 30-year treasury yield is at 5.03. And oil prices on the left side are down slightly to $62 per barrel. Let's move on to our article of the day. S&P 500 dips, debt concerns in focus as Trump's tax bill faces overnight test. The S&P 500 slipped in volatile trading and Treasury yields rose on Wednesday as President Trump's proposed tax cut law faced a rare overnight hearing aimed at influencing Republican holdouts opposed to the bill's passage. The House Rules Committee scheduled an unusual 1 a.m. Eastern hearing that is expected to run well into daylight hours as Republicans try to overcome internal divisions about cuts to the Medicaid health program and tax breaks in high-cost coastal states. The U.S. Representative Speaker Mike Johnson acknowledged, however, that a vote by the full chamber might not happen on Wednesday. Nonpartisan analysts said the proposed plan could add between $3 trillion and $5 trillion to the federal government's $36 trillion debt. This tax bill could be coin toss in its current form. It could go either way, said Miriam Adams, managing director at UBS Wealth Management. It really depends on how much relief the average investor is receiving. If it can impact and give some kind of faith to individual investors, that could give us a real good rally. Boosting the NASDAQ, Google parent Alphabet jumped 5%. By the way, I watched Google's I.O., and I thought it was very impressive. I think Gemini is doing really, really well compared to other options. While NVIDIA and Meta platforms climbed close to 1% each. 9 of the 11 S&P subsectors traded lower, with healthcare being the worst hit. U.S. bonds have been pressured since the start of the week, when Moody's downgraded country's sovereign credit rating. Yields on the 30-year note were back up to 5.01% on Wednesday, with the benchmark 10-year yield climbing 5 basis points to 4.53%. United Health Group dropped 4.5% after a Guardian report said the healthcare conglomerate secretly paid nursing homes thousands in bonuses to help reduce hospital transfers for ailing residents. HSBC also downgraded stock to reduce from hold. Yeah, United Health Group just keeps getting hit time and time again. In earnings, retailer Target fell 3.5% after slashing its annual forecast due to a pullback in discretionary spending. Wolfspeed tumbled nearly 70% following a report that the semiconductor supplier was preparing to file for bankruptcy within weeks. Despite the losses, U.S. stocks have had a solid month so far. The S&P 500 has climbed more than 17% from its lows when Trump's reciprocal tariffs roiled global markets. A pause in the tariffs, a temporary U.S.-China trade truce, and tame inflation data have pushed equities higher, although the S&P 500 is still at about 3% off its record highs. Brokerage Morgan Stanley upgraded its stance on U.S. equities to overweight, saying the global economy was still expanding, albeit slowly, amid policy uncertainty. Meanwhile, Bitcoin scaled to a fresh all-time high of $109,481. Exchange-operated Coinbase gained 2%. Crypto miners, including Riot platforms, rose about 3%. Declining issues outnumber advances by almost 3-to-1 ratio in NYSE and then 2-to-1 ratio on the NASDAQ. All right, let's move on to the next article. Elon Musk lies about Tesla's demand, seals its fate as he says he'll stay CEO with more shares. This is Frederick Lambert of the Electric writing this article. Elon Musk says he wants to stay CEO of Tesla for at least next 5 years and have more controlling shares in the company. We know all that already. I'm going to skim through this, see if there's anything new that we haven't discussed yesterday. Tesla sales were down about 50,000 units in the first quarter of 2025, and they're tracking similarly in the second quarter, where it says he shows quarter-over-quarter compares to cumulative registrations for Tesla in certain countries in Europe. We already had that data. I also shared this data today. And I think more importantly, if you look at this Troy's tweet today, this morning at midnight, Troy says, "Hi everyone, here's the current Tesla delivery outlook based on the data so far. Q2 2025, deliveries are expected to be between 350,000 and 395,000 units, down from 444,000 in Q2 of last year. And so that's a very major drop. That's a 90,000 almost drop. So it could be a 20% down year over year quarter in Q2. And then Troy also says in 2025 full year, deliveries are expected to be between 1.5 million and 1.64 million units, down from 1.79 million in 2024. So overall, it's going to be about a 10% drop year over year, according to Troy's estimate. If you guys haven't subscribed to his Patreon, I recommend doing so. All right. On positive news on the Tesla front, positive news, Milan Kovac, who's an Optimus engineer and AI at Tesla, says one of our goals is to have Optimus learn straight from the internet videos of human doing tasks. Those are often third-person views captured by random cameras, etc. We recently had a significant breakthrough along that journey and can now transfer a big chunk of the learning directly from human videos to the bots' first-person views for now. This allows us to bootstrap new tasks much faster compared to teleoperated bot data alone, heavier operationally. Many new skills are emerging through this process, are called for via natural language, voice and text, and are run by a single neural network on the bot, multitasking. Next step for Tesla is expand to third-person video transfer, also known as random internet, and push reliability via self-replay. I think this is really where the bottleneck is, for me at least, is the reliability of Optimus isn't as high as what you would need, and I think it's going to take years to get there. Just like FSD is. FSD right now completes about 97% of trips without a critical disengagement. And to get from 97% to 99.9999%, it's going to take 5-10 years, if not more. And I kind of see a similar path for Optimus as well. And Milan says, if you're great at AI and want to be part of its biggest real-world applications, you really need to join Tesla now. So we've seen this kind of effort, concentrated effort from Tesla employees and Elon as well, trying to get people to sign up for jobs at Tesla. Similar idea here from Murtaza. I want to make it clear how crazy impressive this is. We can now do bimanual dexterous manipulation across a wide range of tasks with barely any data on these skills coming from teleoperation. As we know, teleop does not scale, but turns out human video does. This means Optimus can now rapidly pick up new skills with significantly less effort than before. What's next? You guessed it, reinforcement learning. All right. Other company news. Toyota debuts amazing all-new RAV4. We're just going to read the summary and a couple of bullet points here. The all-new 2026 RAV4, which is a Model Y competitor, of course, America's best-selling compact SUV, will be available in 3 styles. Core, Rugged, Sport. It will be 100% electrified, offering a choice of hybrid electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle powertrains. The PHEV model will have a 50-mile all-electric driving range and DC fast charging capability. So I think this is going to be the dominant form of powertrain for years to come in automotive. Hybrid, and you can see PHEV, plug-in hybrid, will have 50-mile all-electric, so enough for most trips, basically. But also it kind of takes away that range anxiety because you can always go to the gas station. All new redesigned 6th generation RAV4 will be available in 3 styles. America's best-selling compact SUV will be 100% electrified. First ever RAV4 Sport developed in partnership with Toyota Racing. Okay. RAV4 Woodland Grid available. Hybrid electric, plug-in hybrid electric, and with all-wheel drive standard. Okay. 20% more electric drive range to 50 miles. And of course, this can always increase next year as well in the next reiteration. RAV4 HEV models move to 5th generation hybrid system, boost output to 336 horsepower on all-wheel drive models. Okay. Launch of Toyota's Irene software development program. So that's the other news. Launch of Toyota's Irene software development platform, which enables Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 and new generation of Toyota Audio multimedia system. Okay. Bitcoin touches new high above 109,000. Bitcoin surged above 109,000. Let's just read the summary here. Bitcoin surged to above 109,000, driven by bullish momentum and a strengthened regulatory outlook for the crypto. The stablecoin bill's progress in the Senate, coupled with pro-crypto SEC chair and Coinbase inclusion in S&P 500, contribute to the surge. Additionally, corporations are increasingly adopting Bitcoin, with approximately 80 holding 3.4% of the total supply. Okay. NVIDIA Jensen Huang calls U.S. curbs on advanced chip exports to China a failure. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang reportedly called Washington's export curbs on the sale of AI chips to China a failure that would drive Chinese rivals to speed up developing their own semiconductors. Last month, NVIDIA said it would take a $5.5 billion charge in the fiscal first quarter due to new export curbs on the sale of its H20 chips to China. NVIDIA peer AMD also said it expects to face charges of up to $800 million related to limits on sales of its MI308 chip to China. And Jansen says, I think all along the export control was a failure, according to Wall Street Journal. The local companies were very talented and very determined, and the export controls give them the spirit, energy, and government support to accelerate their development. Last month, NVIDIA said it would take a $5.5 billion charge due to new export curbs on the sale of its H20 chips to China. And NVIDIA is going to announce results next Wednesday. Great. Last but not least, we're going to read the Trump tax bill threatened by ultra-conservatives after SALT deal. Conservative hardliners threatened to block President Donald Trump's massive tax and spending package just as an agreement to increase the state and local tax deduction removed a key obstacle. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced Wednesday that he had an agreement with lawmakers from high tax states to increase the limit on the SALT deduction to $40,000, and shortly after, ultra-conservatives lashed out. Several hardline Republicans said House GOP leaders aren't honoring concessions the White House promised them. Trump and Johnson plan to meet with some of the ultra-conservative lawmakers at White House at 3 p.m., a person familiar with the plan said. House Republicans leaders are also planning to accelerate new Medicaid work requirements to December 2026 from 29 in a bid to satisfy ultra-conservatives, according to lawmakers. So a bunch of discussions going on still. We still don't really have the final version. We're not even close to the final version, I don't think. I think these discussions are going to go on until July and August. And now we're going to really see what comes of it. All right, let's do a quick check of the markets again. And now we're going to call it. Markets have come down a little bit. Dow Jones is now down 1%. NASDAQ is negative. S&P 500 down 0.5%. Russell 2000 down 1.4%. Again, a couple of the stocks are leading the upward movement. You can see here 2/3 of the stocks are declining today. And oil is at 62. Oh, wow, look at this. Yields are surging. Yields are surging. Thank you very much, everybody. And I will chat with you all next time. Take care.